Hey, everyone.
Yeah,
Hey. I'm
hey,
here with Jake. Almost forgot your
yep,
name. Fantastic start to the
and
episode.
yeah.
So
We haven't
this
we haven't
is
we haven't done a podcast in a long time.
yeah,
I think
and
the last podcast we did, it was not even supposed to be one. It ended up being our one of the longest videos on the channel.
yep. Actually, that was not a podcast. That was just a random
Yeah, but
video we did.
it like turned into one
It
on
did.
accident.
It did, but it wasn't an actual
It, it,
podcast.
w- yeah, it wasn't supposed to be one. Then it turned into one
It
because we just
wasn't,
kept
but then
talking.
it did.
Yeah,
Pretty much. But
yeah.
yeah, welcome to our first episode of our new podcast. I'm not sure what we're going to call it at the moment, so it's
Yeah,
untitled at the
so
moment.
it's this is just gonna be because I and there's this is just gonna be mainly the sort of more nerdy corner, you should say.
Yeah,
Um, I'm because I am nerd and it's nice to talk about and I talked about it before there's a lot of things from either like comics and movies, video games that I'm just really passionate about, and I like to talk about it. And this will be a good space to talk about it.
yeah, and I'm gonna be like a big wall this entire series. Let's go.
Yeah, he's gonna be the wall. Just the occasional yeah.
hmm
But I will
Just
try my best to let you have some talking time because
yes,
I can be on,
some
or you
actual
can
topics.
ask the questions and stuff. So yeah, with
Uh,
that being said,
oh yeah, I
I'll just
can.
start off.
I can be like the interviewer. Like what? Okay, I have a
Yeah,
question actually. So, what
yeah.
movies are you looking forward to in the next year?
Within the next. All right.
Year, yeah.
Okay. Um. So, in terms of like the majority of this year, not much. The top things I'm looking forward to is Cobra Kai season 5. It's coming out in September. I'm super hyped because um they are usually New Year's releases, and I did not, after the ending of season 4, I did not want to wait for like the literally next year for season 5. So
Hmm.
I'm so happy it's coming out in September.
Oh
It's gonna be
yeah,
amazing. I'm
it is
so
coming out
happy.
in September. That's right.
Yeah, like literally like a couple, as a recording, like a couple months away. It I'm and but that's like top for me. But that's a TV show. But in terms of movies, not really much. I mean, there are some movies that are out right now that I do want to see. Like, I definitely want to go see Lightyear at some point.
Yeah.
It might come out on Disney Plus like within like a month or two. So if I don't, I'm just gonna watch it on Disney Plus. And blah, blah. And I want to see the Black Phone because I've heard good things about it, and it's not like often there's a new horror movie that's not like that's more an original thing that
hmm
I'm like something I want to see.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so those two. Um, I did want to partake in the Minions Rise of Gru um meme, but honestly, after all the everything that went down with like theaters and stuff, like I really don't want to go see it anymore.
Yeah, people kind
um,
of ruined it. Like at first it was
yeah,
like
they
a
they
great
ruined the
meme.
meme.
Eh,
I was gonna go in a suit and stuff, and then I'm just like I don't really want to do that now.
I don't want to
I
be
know,
associated with that crowd.
like it was. I will admit, it's fun. I still find the like the concept just wearing a very formal attire to watch a Minions movie
Yeah.
hilarious. but I just think people just got so out of control that it's like that's kind of sad now.
Kind of just ruined it, ruined the vibe of the meme.
Like I like the amount of people that are just like they're being like intentionally just so disruptive, and like literally. So I've seen sometimes they were causing like property damage and stuff. And it's like, ugh, like it's not like it's. And I've seen people defend it, being like well, when the Marvel fans, no one complains when the Marvel fans like go crazy when something happens on the screen, but it's like the thing with the difference is that I have been to the opening nights of 3 of like the most hyped up Marvel movies: Endgame, No Way Home, and Multiverse of Madness, and we have not thrown a mosh pit at all.
Yeah.
We have not got up and just started screaming loud intentionally to like annoy everyone. We did not like. I've not had an experience like a theater experience with with Marvel movies where we got up and just started causing like a scene and stuff. Like I don't. It's not the same. It's because we are actually excited. It's just you guys are just starting. You guys are just starting a plot when it's literally like the opening like logos for like the studio, and you're just like going intentionally. You're trying to intentionally annoy everyone.
Yeah, it's just
and being disruptive.
blatantly disrespectful to like the people who
It
actually
is.
want to see it.
It's like once you get to the point where disrupting, like families who have no idea what they're walking into, and disrespecting theater employees who are just trying to do their job and trying to make sure everyone has a good time and stuff. And and imagine being like a little kid just trying to watch this like movie, and you see a bunch of like teenage boys and grown men just go absolutely nuts over like nothing. Like it must be scary.
Yeah,
Like
legitimately.
when you're like a kid just trying to watch, and like you'd be so confused and like. But yeah, the other thing, so aside from just to kind of turn away from that topic, I will say, the only other movie that I can think of is Halloween Ends,
Oh yeah.
and but with that movie, I'm very conflicted about it because, I am very, I don't like, I don't like from what we have heard about it so far and what's it going to be. I'm not all for it. Like I'm not. I mean, I'm not. I'm not saying like, oh, this is gonna be like an awful movie or something. It's just I don't like the direction they're taking the movie, like having a massive time jump to a big time jump like Endgame, and then having like the pandemic be a sort of plot point, and it's like I think they said like how would like Michael be in like a COVID world or some he said something along those lines, and it's like I really um I'm really starting to not like elevated horror these days. If you don't People who don't know what that means, it's basically you it pretty much started, this whole elevated horror stuff started with with Jordan Peele and the movie Get Out. You've probably heard of that movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it started with that's where it pretty much like took off with Blumhouse, and who's making the Halloween movies and pretty much making the majority of horror movies nowadays. They just like to pretty much add social political commentary to horror movies, and some movies it works. I will say, like for example, I think the Candyman remake works because that character was always about injustice, because the killer is, his origin is, he is a child of a slave in like the 1800s who falls in love with a white woman. She gets pregnant, so a mob murders him, and he's now like a vengeful spirit.
Yeah.
Who's summoned. So his like remake being about the injustices of black people of color have it makes sense that the remake would, or not remake, but requel or whatever you want to call it, where it's like a remake, but it's still a follow-up to the original. It's just ignoring the sequels, which I've talked about with our Halloween Timelines videos. They do this. Horror movies like to do this a lot, especially nowadays. But yeah, so like I said, that movie works. I just don't think it works with Halloween. I think Halloween is just a very basic story. I just don't think you need that much nuance to it, which is why a lot of people don't like the scene in Halloween Kills. That scene with the patient, the mental patient who escaped, and the whole town was literally chasing him down this hospital to the point that he literally commits suicide. And they're like, oh yeah, this is a big social commentary about mob mentality. And like I said, I just don't think Halloween is a franchise that isn't based around that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm a little worried, and I think they're gonna steer too much into it that it's it might. But I am up for different. I am very skeptical. So, and what's weird is we haven't even gotten a trailer for it yet. Hopefully, when that does, we can do a reaction like you did with No Way Home, and I'll be here this time, and we can watch together. Then we can have a discussion about it, and because I'm probably gonna have stuff to say.
Yep, for sure.
But there's also some other things that gets me sort of a little more excited. I like that there's going to be we haven't revealed what, but they said there's going to be that Michael is not the only threat in this movie, and that gets me really excited. Ooh, that's something different that I like.
Oh yeah.
Just don't do any dumb cult stuff, though. I don't want that. But if you want a separate thing, that's going to be really...
going to be a cult or whatever. Honestly.
Yeah, I really hope not.
What else can it be?
I've seen some theories that it's actually the toy company in Halloween 3.
Oh.
Because when we did the Halloween, you probably don't remember, but I talked about Halloween 3 was a whole separate, timeline universe. Mm-hmm. Michael's not in it. But it's about a toy company. Yeah, I think they're a toy company called Silver Shamrock, and they basically have this plan to literally kill a bunch of kids on Halloween with these masks. And these masks have been in the newer Halloween movies. They've been in each of them. They have the pumpkin mask, the skull mask, which you probably they were in Halloween Kills. They were in you see the dead kids in Halloween Kills, and they were wearing those masks, the pumpkin, the witch, the skeletons. Those 3 masks were from Halloween 3.
Yeah, I remember.
So I would be super excited if that was the case, because it's finally Halloween 3 is so slept on, and that would be very interesting. But anyway, but what also concerns me is that they've pretty much hinted that this will not be the last movie, and I'm just no.
Okay. The way I look at it is I honestly wish it will be the last movie, but if it isn't, then it's whatever. I enjoyed these movies anyway, so I'm not gonna complain that much.
So but they haven't confirmed or denied if it's then. It's just Blumhouse said this is the last movie we are making, so and the rights to the character and the franchise are gonna go back to the people who actually own it. So either it's all gonna depend if this movie does well financially and critically, it gets good reviews.
Yeah.
But
so
it's either the rights go back to the original owners. The original owner, I forgot his name, but his last name's Akkad, and he's the son of the father who originally owned the franchise. Or Blumhouse, who's making this trilogy, they sign a new contract, and to do more movies. I would like, if they're gonna do more, do an anthology series. Stop using Michael. Give Michael a break. Do like different stories with Halloween. Like that's what they were doing. That's what Halloween 3 was. That's what Halloween 3 was supposed to be. It was like the start of doing anthology series, and they were like, and it sucked because people got too attached to Michael, so they had to bring him back.
Mhm.
But I think now we can now accept, like, you know, we want an anthology series. Like, you can do it. Like, so that's what if you're gonna do sequels, do an anthology series. Like, just let Michael rest for a bit. Like,
Yeah,
um,
I agree.
yeah, definitely. I'm not gonna. It's either gonna be either some, and they're probably gonna like not even. They're probably just gonna either like well, I definitely think Glory might die,
Probably.
but they might leave Michael like either like sort of in a way that they could bring him back, like keep it ambiguous, because I don't think, because last time they killed him off, they were like, we're gonna make a sequel and we're gonna have this convoluted way how he's still alive, and I think they're gonna probably do that again.
I will kill myself if they do that.
They did it before.
They've done it like in all the movies. I feel like.
Yeah. But yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, so
if Michael dies, there's a big chance Floyd also dies, in my opinion.
I think I honestly, so what my thing is, and they've pretty much built like the whole theme of this franchise is that they basically need each other to stay alive, which is like because like it's always, that's how it's always been, like it's that kind of theme. So I think it should be best if they both just kill each other, like Michael kills Laurie, and then Michael like is like severely wounded, and then Allison comes in and then she finishes him off. That's that.
Yeah.
Because you know, where they just both like brutally kill each other. Like there was footage shown at a convention or something, I think CinemaCon, and they said like the fighting between them is absolutely brutal. So I'm, you know, I kind of gotta be excited for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah. And I know people are going, well, you're such a Marvel fan. Why aren't you talking about, like, you know, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever and stuff? And like, why aren't you excited for that? Or any of the other shows coming out? And I'm like, you know, I'm not really as like when it comes to Black Panther, with the amount of delays and the amount of like and with the whole just thing of just, you know, with Chadwick's passing, I just wish this movie shouldn't have been made. It just feels really distasteful for me.
It's beyond too soon to make a Black Panther movie.
And the thing is too is I remember when, you know, before he passed away, that they were already thinking of replacing him anyway, and it's just like,
that's fucked.
And I did think that's super disrespectful. Right? You're like, as soon as like as soon as he passes, we're like, oh, we gotta rewrite the sequel. Like, who's gonna be Black Panther now? Is it gonna be like, and it's like, you know, like, it just doesn't feel right to me. I like that. I like we're getting like Namor the Submariner's a villain, but like, other than that, like, I'm not into it. Like it feels really distasteful for me.
Yeah,
Um,
it's actually
I think they should have
dumb.
just. I think they should have just closed the book on Black Panther, Wakanda, and that stuff, and then I think it should have been fine like that. Um, with um, and with the TV shows, like I'm like the upcoming She-Hulk show. I'm excited for, but like with these Disney Plus shows, it's painful, and they're what I mean by painful is that they release them weekly, and literally you have to spend which with them being released weekly, some people like it, some people don't. Like some people like prefer like when it like for example like Cobra Kai, they release all the episodes at once, so you can have one long binge, and some people like when they're released weekly, so everyone's on the same page and stuff. But it's like with those shows, it's so. And what I mean by painful is that you have to wait like the entire week, and that whole. And with these shows, you have to for that whole week, you're gonna hear nothing but complaining and whining, and it's just annoying. um,
Yeah.
so one of the, and this is both with Marvel and Star Wars, so um, it's really just like it feels like such a drag, and it's like, and plus there's just so many shows they are developing that I'm just not interested in. They're just they they're just picking the most obscure characters who don't need any solo stuff and just giving it to them. Kind of like Morbius. But
Yeah.
anyway, um, like with Kenobi, like it was the backlash for Kenobi was so. It was a shit show. Like it was like it was fine. Like the first like 3 weeks were fine, and then episode 4 came out, and everyone was just going full on like, this show's so mid. This show's bad. This show's so stupid. Like this isn't what I wanted. Like, and it's just like, it's like it's painful. It's such a drag, and it's like I'd rather they release just all the episodes so we can, because I feel like that's just killing reviews of the shows. Because for me, and you know, when it comes to Kenobi, like um I thought it was pretty good. I definitely don't think it needs a second season, even though they are making one. Um, they there was kind of the fourth episode definitely was more of a got dragged on, but the final 2 episodes were really solid, so I will give them that. But like I said, like it's with Marvel and Star Wars, it's just people are just so like entitled, and that they want these shows, movies, everything. And I've talked about this in the Minecraft live stream, out of all places. Like it's just they've become so entitled that if like I don't get what I want, it's bad. It's automatically bad. Nope, nope.
Well, that
Like
is how the
it's
world
it's
works, anyways.
like it's just annoying, and it's like, and you know it's just like this like hype stuff is just so it's gotten out of control. Like I'm like gonna like tune out everyone when a new Marvel show or movie comes out, because it's like um it's really just annoying now. Um and with one, as of recording this, the new Thor movie came out a couple days ago, and I went opening night, and I really enjoyed it. I remember literally the night before, the early reviews were coming in on Rotten Tomatoes, and it was in like the like high 60s, and I was like, and I was checking like social media, and people were seeing like reviews, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, this movie is just so goofy and so this movie's mid. It was so goofy and like, um, and you know, the previous Thor movie was So it's kind of weird because like we have out of the four Thor movies, the first two are super dark, but the second half, Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder, they're both like very lighthearted and very comedic. So I
That
don't
makes sense.
I don't like I didn't understand like because the complaints because it's like, but that's Thor Ragnarok. Everyone loves Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok is like literally in everyone's top 10 like MCU movies of like all time. Why are you complaining? That it's like comedic and stuff, and that's like too silly and stuff. Like it was the same thing with Doctor Strange too. So I was just like, as soon as I saw those reviews, I'm like, yep, I'm gonna enjoy this movie anyway. So, and you know what? I ended up um, enjoying it a lot. I might like it more than Ragnarok. I'm not sure yet. I might need to watch it a second time to like really get my thoughts in, like I did with Multiverse of Madness. So yeah, but I don't. Is it very comedic and silly? Yes, it is. But I think when the villain is on screen, it's serious. And this the villain played by Patrick Bateman himself is absolutely amazing. Um, he was definitely the highlight of the movie for me. He was just so intimidating, so creepy, and like every time he's on screen, he's just doing something very. He just looks very creepy every time he's on screen. So yeah, um,
When he pulled out his business card, I shat my pants.
yeah, I did too. Um, yeah, when he killed Morbius too, like crazy. Um, I definitely think that yeah, I definitely think it's overhated. I just for like word of advice to anyone who wants to go see it, just don't go in with anything like don't like any high expectations or anything. Just it's a really fun movie. Um, and I'm honestly, I know people don't like it being overly comedic and overly silly or whatever, but I'm just all the Marvel movies always have silly, goofy moments, and so I'm just so used to it that I just doesn't phase me or anything. Just like people when people complain about CGI, like in the Marvel movies, like Marvel's had a CGI problem since 2013. It's like I'm just so used to it that it's just like whatever.
Yeah. Like
That's literally like if you like looked at every like Marvel movie review, that's always the top one of like the top complaints is, oh, the CGI in some scenes are just really wonky and really weird, and I'm like, yep, I know.
I agree with you, because what I have to say about this is like I think the reason why I find the movies that we all watch so good is because I don't pay attention to that general crowd, like the viewers or
Yeah,
the fucking critics. Like I just go into
yeah.
them not expecting anything, and I come out always like that was the best movie I've ever seen.
I know, I mean, when we did No Way Home, I did talk about the CGI was kind of wonky, and we were still in the universal agreement that yeah, the CGI was kind of wonky, but this movie was still freaking amazing.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, oh yeah, and then speaking of No Way Home, that's I think the tickets are going up as a recording. They are releasing they what's it called? They're calling it the Fun Stuff Edition, or it's a really dumb title.
But
It is, but they so kind of like what's the Fun Stuff Edition? So back in when when the movie came out on Blu-ray, like physically, like Blu-ray, they literally removed all the deleted scenes from the Blu-rays, and everyone was like, "Huh, that's weird." And yeah, so the reason why now is because they're putting it back into theaters, and they're gonna put all the deleted scenes in the movie, and that's gonna be like an extra 10 minutes at best.
Buh.
Um,
That's so dumb.
It is. The only reason I'm gonna go see it is because there's like an extra 5 minutes of the 3 Spider-Man.
Yeah,
There's
that's
like
literally the only reason.
it.
That's literally
That's
the only
it.
reason.
That's
Like
the
thing is, like I probably would like watching the movie again, but like I don't want to pay a movie ticket to watch.
Yeah. When you can just like,
I'd rather wait for the Blu-ray.
like I have it on Blu-ray. Like,
But like I want to see them.
I want to go back.
Like I want to see them
But
hang
it's
out
just-
though. Is the catch? Like I want to see the Spider-Man hang out with each other.
Yeah. And then, like another thing is like they've done this before with Endgame, and we might have when that came out. I think we talked about it when at your house. I think that I think the only thing they did was they did a post-credit scene of an unfinished CGI scene, and it looks so awful. And that's my biggest worry, is that the CGI is just gonna be unfinished, plugged into the movie, and it's gonna be like, oh no, come on. Because there's a so I'm hoping that's why they took so long, is that they have more scenes that they're just cleaning up and, you know, making the CGI better so they can put it back in.
Yeah.
Because there is like a brief clip of an unfinished scene of, like, you know, Spider-Man and the Green Goblin fighting on the bridge. Like, that's so cool. Like, that'd be so cool to see. But so that's why I'm hoping, and I want to see that, surely, the fact that having the Green Goblin fight in full armor and not, like, you know, wearing goggles and stuff. It works, but that full armor is so nostalgic for me that I want to see it in action, like the full thing in action again.
Yeah.
So that's and I know there's also there's like some videos of Toby, Spider-Man, and Green Goblin having a rematch. I don't want that. I don't want that scene, because I know some people want like that rematch, but it's like, it kind of, having another Spider-Man fight the Green Goblin just kind of ruins that final confrontation for me between Tom's Spider-Man and Green Goblin. You know what I'm saying? It kind of ruins it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, they did have a final fight in the first Spider-Man movie, and that's one of the best fight scenes like ever, because it was just so brutal and so like we're not gonna get like Green Goblin throwing a literal like a pumpkin bomb in Toby's face again. Like, literally, like them both like all Toby like bleeding, and like we're not gonna get that again. It's gonna be completely different. Literally the last time they fought, it was near perfect. So I don't want them to fight again.
Yeah.
So they can keep that out, but I think I'm only gonna go into it seeing the three hanging out. That's what it's literally called, the Spideys hang out. So I don't know what the scenes are. I hope it's them at a pizza joint or something.
That'd be cool.
I really do.
I have a theory that I just came up with just now. So originally, James Franco was supposed to be in the movie, right? But then the allegations of him came out with him with that teenager, and they're like, "Oh fuck! Oh no, we have to redo it."
Okay, I don't want to sound like I'm giving misinformation, but I'm pretty sure that with his situation, they were a bunch of college girls in acting classes, and it wasn't like, it was more of just like a powers advantage sort of thing. It wasn't anything like he was like a creeping on teenagers and stuff.
Yeah,
it's still wrong. I'm not like justifying. I'm just saying it's not like the like bottom of the barrel like level of scum.
It's weird, but like it's not bad.
Yeah. It's more of just taking advantage of like power.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it was consensual stuff because they were in college. So that's probably why they couldn't reference him as much either.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, that's the only. I just hope. Like I said, I'm still torn if I'm gonna go see it. I really don't want to like pay, because it's another thing too is that movie tickets like are just going up so much that it's like they used to be $8 and now they're like for our theaters. Like it might be different in other places, but for us, they used to be like $8. Now they're like $12 each.
Yeah, it's
when I saw Multiverse of Madness, I wanted to because it was hyped up to be a big event and stuff. So I was like, let's see it in like the best screens at the theater, and it ran up to almost like $60 for like 3 seats.
And Dan, you went with like what, 3 people?
Yeah, it was just 3 people, 3 tickets, and at the end of the day, it was like almost $60.
So that's like at least
and
12.
For Thor, it was like $40.
That's like at least $12 per person, which is beyond crazy.
Yeah, and then imagine like if you wanted like snacks and stuff too. That's gonna be like another like $50. I don't know how much they are now, but I know people like to make jokes about how theater concessions are so like expensive.
It's just fucking stupid as hell.
Can I have a medium popcorn and a large soda? Yeah, that'll be $30.
Yeah, it'll be your entire wallet.
Yeah.
That'll be an entire paycheck of these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, just hand over the wallet.
This is a robbery. Enjoy your movie, sir.
Enjoy your movie. It's honestly like I feel like with movie theaters, it's becoming just they're trying so hard to like, even with our theater, like there's like just a bunch of arcade games and stuff because they're trying to make profit because they know they're dying.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with malls too, that they're trying to just make it because they know that it just people are just turning online, so they're just gonna turn them into more attraction based and stuff.
Pretty much.
But I still like going to them.
Exactly. I honestly hope that malls, movie theaters do not die because I enjoy the experience of going to them both.
Yeah, and like it's like you're never gonna see. We're never like. And the thing is, you're never gonna watch movies like in that quality, ever.
Exactly.
If they die out, we're never gonna have movies in that quality. I know there's like 4K and 8K and whatever, but it's like it doesn't. Every time I see like 4K, 8K stuff, it's not really groundbreaking for me, in my opinion. It doesn't like have that same effect. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have that high quality.
I'm like literally okay with even 720p. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
I am too. Like I'm not like nitpicking on quality. I'm just saying like it doesn't. Even though like they say like this like people have like 4K DVRs, 4K TVs. Like I have a 4K TV. I'm not impressed. It's not like anything. It's not like I'm recreating a movie theater experience. Like,
exactly.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Because like movie theaters just have that natural like crowd togetherness and just like seeing it on like such a big screen and just everyone getting hyped. It's just like there's nothing else I can beat it. Like I will always choose the movie theater and viewing it with friends over just sitting.
You
at
like
home.
because you like talk about it. Like we've talked about it. And, like your No Way Home experience. Like you're not going to get that
exactly
at home. You're not gonna get that.
There's a couple of days ago I tweeted so you know those are grade in and better signs. Yeah. So I was like going to the movie theaters and just like 1,000 greater than signs versus like streaming services, because like I hate streaming services.
Yeah, it's just the problem is just like it's just the prices are so up. Like I like literally like a movie ticket is like literally equivalent of a month of a streaming service.
And that's
so, like
that's what I hate, because like you don't get the good experience at all. It's more comfortable, yes. Like don't get me wrong, sitting at home watching a full movie is like fantastic, but like I just prefer movie theaters more.
Yeah, and I also think some of the exclusives they do, like it's either a hit or miss.
Yeah,
I think Disney Plus, in terms of exclusive, Disney Plus is definitely the one killing it right now, and then comparison, Paramount Plus is really struggling right now. I do like some stuff on Paramount Plus though. I like the South Park specials that they've done. Those were pretty good. The new Beavis and Butthead movie that just came out. That was also really good. The iCarly revival.
Yeah.
Really good too.
I would get one of them.
You see the theme that's like the comedy stuff is that is the only stuff that works with Paramount Plus. Then you smash cut the Halo show and how bad that like how like so distant it is from the video game that it's just like it's bad. It's bad. It's really bad.
I've only heard bad things about it. I've never seen anything about it. All I heard is like it's bad.
And the fact they haven't announced season 3 for the iCarly revival yet, and it's like you better just don't let this.
Yeah.
Like, because the thing is that they ended it on a cliffhanger, and if they leave it like that, I'm gonna be pissed because like. I don't like when they hang it. I don't like when they end shows on a cliffhanger like that and just don't. It's just so. I hate it. It's so irritating.
They really just love doing that.
Like, yeah, but I know they're in their defense. It might be like they didn't know it was gonna get canceled, or maybe. But like I said, I hate it when it happens. It's awful. I know some people really don't like the revival because of the lack of some of the original characters. And,
yeah, that's kind of what kills me with it.
But and I understand because it's like with every I don't want to support the show because of everything Noah and Jeanette went through, and I completely understand. I understand completely. Like but I watched it and I enjoyed it because at the end of the day, like these are still, even though it's not all of them, these are still characters I grew up with, and seeing them in adult life, and having a more adult tone is something I like, and I wish more kids show revivals did.
Yeah.
Because they were catering to the people who actually grew up with the show and not a bunch of kids who have no idea. One of them was, you've probably heard how bad it is, the Fairly Odd Parents revival.
Oh yeah.
I watched the pilot and it was the worst. I'm not kidding. It was the worst sitcom pilot I have ever watched in my life. Nothing will compare. It was awful. Like, it was painful to watch. Like, I saw a
screenshot of like one of the frames.
Timmy, you saw it.
I did see Timmy. I saw him all the time. But like, there's one specific frame where in the background it was like a portrait of these two characters, and they were drawn in their like cartoon form. I'm like, why are they drawn like that?
Another thing too is like they would like I don't know. I see this a lot. I saw this a lot too. When I was like looking at the background, when they would do signs and stuff, they would have an exclamation point and then the number 1. But it's like, how would someone make that mistake if it's supposed to be like they wrote it down? How do you make that mistake? Like, is it trying to be funny? Like, I don't. It's just it was awful. Like, there was not funny. It looked in the one, and I remember seeing like clips too, and they're just going like it's like they don't even care because first of all, they're having Crocker and Vicky dating.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, she's like a teacher at the school.
Isn't
so she's like
wait,
and her
okay,
and Crocker, she's like they're like dating or she's like it's like no stop.
so like they're aged up, right? I mean, it's still weird, but they're aged up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, obviously because Timmy was like 10 and Vicky was like
she was like 16.
She was I think like 15, 16ish.
15, 16, yeah.
I know someone's gonna be like in that Channel Chasers when they showed her like aged up they said she was like maybe like 14 or something. I think it was either I'm gonna say between like 14 and 16. Like I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think it was between those numbers. But yeah, so she's definitely like older. But like I said, it's like they don't even care about like the original. Like it's such a weird turn.
The show it looks like a fucking fan made it.
Yeah,
it just made it into a fan fiction with Vicky and Mr. Crocker.
Yeah,
like what the fuck?
It really.
So
and like
dumb.
the joke and it's also just my problem with kids television nowadays is that they don't they just dumb down on the comedy that it's like borderline extremely childish. And I hate to be like sounding like an old person boomer, but it's like the shows we watched, like they had depth to them, so you can watch it as when you're older because they knew that parents watched it too.
Yeah.
Which is why I'll talk about more about it. I remember I watched clips of like skits from Sesame Street and I found them funny. And I know that sounds like really like that's so childish, but it's like seriously, like they knew parents were watching too, so they were like, let's have fun, let's make it funny. So yeah, yeah, but definitely one of the highlights of like the last couple weeks was with regards to Sesame Street of all things is that I don't know if you like delve into. I've been on pretty much a rabbit hole of like lost stuff, like lost
media
movies. Yeah, lost media.
I've been actually watching those types of videos too recently.
So you know about the Sesame Street episode, right?
I feel like I came across a video, but like I got distracted from other videos. But like I heard people talking about it.
So this is like hilarious. So one of the ones that I when it comes to lost media, I'm more into like the lost horror movies, like the old lost horror movies of like silent films and I know that's not like your type of thing,
I'm into like lost kind of scary stuff, stuff that's just weird.
Yeah, but one of them that was definitely on my radar was, besides like some other, was the Sesame Street episode with the Wicked Witch. I wanted to see it. I wanted to watch it so badly. Because not only like it's like technically a crossover between Sesame Street and Wizard of Oz, that's amazing. But and you have the original actress who played the Wicked Witch reprising her role.
Yeah.
In like literally decades later, and that's just so good. That's just amazing. And the actress who played the Wicked Witch, Margaret Hamilton, was such a sweet and genuine person. So I didn't want this getting lost.
Yeah.
But So the story with this was, um, so like this was like on like my top list. So the most I saw of it at the time was like they did a screening like of, because with like, when you have like something like Sesame Street, there's a bunch of like rights issues and you have to get approvals to, like, to release stuff. Because well, first of all, I should explain why this episode is like lost. So this episode was lost. This episode only aired once in the 70s. So and why it was pulled is because they were getting a lot of complaints from parents. I want to emphasize the parents thought the episode was too scary. Um, emphasis parents. They did screenings with kids, and the kids were not scared at all. This was just a case of the parents being like, "Oh my god, I don't want my children watching this."
Yeah.
So it was pulled, never aired again. But they did a screening of it in a couple years ago, and someone recorded it. Obviously, because people do that. When they say don't record this, they're gonna record it anyway.
Exactly.
And then post it. And then I don't know when the exact date was but this year, the Library of Congress was like, yeah, so we're gonna have a special screening of the episode. Yeah, so if you want to I think you could get like a ticket or something. You can go watch it, the full thing, the full cut, like the whole episode. So then I think a couple of days later, the full episode was posted on Reddit, and now it's all over YouTube, and it's not getting lost again. And I found out about. I didn't know about this. I literally was scrolling on my phone. I was on break at work. I was scrolling through my phone, and like literally the top video in my recommendations was the Wicked Witch episode found, and I was like, holy shit! I'm like, I was like, I can't wait to go home. I'm gonna watch. I can't wait to watch this episode of Sesame Street. And I watched that whole hour, and I was like, you really with, like I could have honestly just watched like a compilation of just every time like the Wicked Witch was on screen, because with Sesame Street, like I haven't seen Sesame Street in a long time, obviously, but like they just recycle like stuff and then like have like the main plot, I should say, of like that's like new, but they recycle like skits and stuff. So I couldn't just watch like the 15 minutes of every time like the Wicked Witch was on screen, but I watched the full hour, and I was like, I'm like, it felt like such a fever dream that I was finally watching this. It was, I don't like that it had to be leaked. I think they shouldn't have just released this officially, to begin with. But I'm glad I got to experience it in my lifetime, that I was able to watch this.
Yeah.
So anyone who wants to, you can just look up Wicked Witch Sesame Street episode, and you'll find it on YouTube. You can relax, watch it after you're done watching this podcast.
Exactly.
I enjoyed it. It led to me watching some of the skits that I just found funny. Like, I remember one, and I was so happy I found a clip of it. There was one with like a song about like a tiger, like what's the tiger looking at? And I'm just like, so this is the original What the Dog Doing? What's the tiger looking at? What the dog doing? Like, it's like literally the same thing. Like they were advanced. They were ahead of their time. Like, truly, I think they knew parents were watching it. It's great. But yeah, I've been on a lost movie rabbit hole. Like it's the other thing I really want to see is I really want to see the you know about the Chris Farley version of Shrek, right?
The Chris Farley, what?
Oh, you don't know?
No.
Oh boy. Okay, so basically, Mike Myers was not supposed to be Shrek originally. Chris Farley was supposed to be Shrek. Um,
Oh.
yeah. Well,
Fuck my
so
life.
so basically, when they got Chris Farley, though, it was going to be a completely different movie. Like, it was going to be more what was it? It's going to be more action adventure related, and um, when it came to that, and like they weren't even going to do like CGI. They were going to do like CGI mocap and then have live action backgrounds and stuff. Like, but
That's so weird.
yeah, and Shrek looks completely different. Like he like literally like and Chris Farley like recorded like literally the majority of his dialogue, and then he passed away. So DreamWorks was like, well, like we could just get a sound alike, but it's like, but we're unhappy with the story. So that's when Mike Myers came in, and we got the Shrek we know and love today.
Yeah.
But there is test footage that exists of like Chris Farley as Shrek that's out there. There I think there's like 2 copies went up online, and we don't know what happened to them. There is screenshots that exist, so but we don't. I think 1 copy they said has like no sound or anything,
Oh,
but there is screenshots, so you can easily look at like Chris Farley Shrek and you get like he looks creepy. I should say some of the test footage does look creepy, but there's not really much of it. There is on YouTube. If you want to look, you can look it up after we're done recording and stuff. There is a dialogue of Chris Farley as Shrek does exist to the public. Officially released, not officially released. I think one of animators or something. But it's actually the campfire scene.
Mm-hmm.
In Shrek.
Yeah.
But it's Chris Farley. It's absolutely a one. It's really good. It's not finished animation or anything. It's like storyboard drawings and stuff. But you hear Chris Farley as Shrek, and it's. I really wish we had gotten this version of the movie because I think it would have been a lot more emotional than I think what we did get in the end.
Yeah.
So I highly implore anyone. But yeah, like that Chris Farley version of Shrek is lost, and when it had been, and I know I thought with like knowing like the Sandler gang and stuff that you would know about this.
Yeah.
But, I'm glad I got to tell you.
Yeah, I didn't know he was gonna be Shrek. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, like he would have. I think he would have been. I think he would have done.
He would have been fantastic.
Job. Yeah.
There's a reason why he was actually going to be Shrek originally. Jesus.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so it was very unfortunate because I think it would have been a lot more. It definitely had a more emotional story, but it's just like they saw the test footage and they just did not like it. The head of DreamWorks, they just did not like it for some reason, and because Chris Farley passed away during production, they were like, well, we don't like the story, and we can't have Chris Farley record lines if we re-record lines if we change the story. So that's when Mike Myers came in and changed like the whole story around it. Yeah. But it's kind of weird seeing like I will say about like the storyboard animation with Chris Farley's dialogue is like Eddie Murphy is still Donkey, so it's like it's kind of like a surreal thing of having Chris Farley Shrek like bantering with Eddie Murphy as Donkey, like like I said, I think, and I know there's like a bunch of rumors of Shrek being rebooted and stuff, and if that happens, I wish they just do this version, because I think it would have been a lot. I think it would have been a much more emotionally driven movie than what we did get in the end.
Mm-hmm.
because the original Shrek was more like comedically based than like more of a like action adventure sort of emotional based.
Yeah, I hope, honestly, just to see how it turns out. I would watch it. Fuck it.
Yeah. I like another thing too with when it comes to like Shrek stuff that was lost is so the story goes with, and this is about Mike Myers. He originally recorded the Shrek dialogue in his normal voice. So and then he did all the line he recorded all the lines, and then they were like, and he was like, I'm gonna, this is alleged by the way because he like denies this, so I don't want to spread like potential misinformation, but the story, alleged story goes that he then re-recorded it, and Shrek's now like his accent now, the Scottish accent that we all like know, because he wanted to Shrek to sound more middle class and stuff. But on the Shrek DVD, like if you go with behind the scenes, like you can actually hear the original like dialogue of Shrek in Mike Myers' normal voice, and it's just so weird and wrong. It's like Shrek talking like a normal like a without a heavy accent. It's just so weird.
I heard he was supposed to be like British or something.
Canadian.
Oh,
it was
Canadian.
Like it was Mike Myers using like his just normal Canadian accent or whatever. It's just his normal speaking voice, but they then he went back and did it in the Scottish accent.
And that's so funny. I Canadian fucking Shrek. Hey, get out of my swamp, eh?
Yeah, like you could like, I think there's like comparisons and stuff, like it's just
someone with a huge Canadian accent needs to redo the entire dialogue and with a Shrek movie.
Yeah, but like this, and when you do like different accents and stuff, like they had to apparently reanimate like the whole movie, which cost them a lot more money.
They had to reanimate the whole movie because Mike Myers was just like, I'm gonna become. Oh my god! So they had to redo the entire movie.
Thank God it won like best animated movie.
Because Mike fucking Myers was like,
that would have been a huge. They were taking a huge risk.
Bro was literally like, you know what? I want to become Scottish instead.
Yeah, I think it's because the reasoning was because Lord Farquaad's supposed to be more British-esque, I should say.
Oh.
So they wanted that kind of thing or whatever. I don't know.
Oh.
But
that's funny.
Yeah, but I do implore you, like, even if you're like not into silent movies, like you check out like, because the stories behind them are just so interesting, because it's like because the problem with silent back in the day with like movies and stuff is that they did not like to record anything or like keep anything archived. So literally a lot of stuff just went lost because they just did not care about preservation, and because they just didn't care. I think sometimes they would literally just throw out a movie in their archive just so they could put a new movie into the archive. And I think it's like 90% of silent movies are lost. Like, it's insane.
That's so fucked. Jesus.
Like, it's like, and there's like, it's like so, like, it's so messy that like, there's potentially movies with no record at all that may have existed, but we just have nothing about them anymore.
That's so
like,
fucking
nothing
weird. Like, possibly thousands of movies that like were made, but like no one ever fucking knew about.
Yeah, like literally sometimes it's all we have left of them are photographs, a poster, and reviews. Like that. in like newspapers. Like that's literally it. So that's why, even if you're not like a silent movie like early like 20th century film person, these are still interesting to just research
I
about because
know
it's so
that
interesting.
that's so fucking interesting, bizarre. Holy shit.
Like one of the ones that I want to see is a movie made in 1927. It's honestly like the most infamous lost silent movie, London After Midnight. It's basically about this guy who it's about like this detective who's trying to solve like this murder case. So he disguises himself as a vampire, and this is played by the legendary, not to people our age, but like legendary in terms of film,
Uh,
Lon Chaney, who he was really good with makeup, and he's like known in like for like in the horror set style for like he did like some of the makeups he did were just so advanced, and this vampire was I wish I could like just like here's like a picture. I wish I could just do that, but
yeah.
um I highly implore anyone to like just go out and look this stuff up because it's so fascinating. Um, but what happened with that movie is there was a big vault fire in the '60s, and the last copy burned down
Oh my
in the
god.
fire. And the reason why is because the film they used, there's like I think it's called like nitrate or something, is very highly flammable.
The
So and there's a fire, it's gonna burn. And it's just really depressing because since it was made in 1927, and of course with nitrate film and stuff, they're gonna decay, and if they're not taken care of properly.
yeah.
So this movie might not even exist. If like a copy was out there, it's probably gone now.
Yeah, for
And I think
sure.
that's rather depressing.
It is.
I think another one that just is also really depressing was a movie in 1913 about, and this one just sounds so interesting. It was about a werewolf. This was released in 1913. There's the only thing left of it is a photo. Um, but the plot is basically about a girl and her boyfriend are murdered, and she comes back from the grave, can turn into a werewolf, and she's after like the reincarnation of her killer, her and her boyfriend's killer. And that just sounds so cool. I wish they did a proper like remake of it.
Yeah.
Because that sounds really interesting. But the last copy was destroyed almost 100 years ago.
Jesus.
1924. So it's literally been like it's like practically gone now.
That's so weird, Rizar. Do we want to do more of these? Like, do you want to tell more of these like next episode?
Yeah. I mean that's
Because these
what
sound.
time is it? Is because you want to like cut time or something or?
We'll have to do something.
Okay. Yeah.
So
that's
this episode's about to be gone, but like I definitely want to hear more of them next time. Honestly, these sound super interesting, bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah. So so I think we'll call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you for watching. A bunch of watching us talk about very random and obscure stuff.
Yep.
Some are mainstream, some are extremely obscure, but
Yep.
hey, it was a good conversation about anything and everything's nerdy. So.
Exactly. And through the series, I will start speaking more as time progresses. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, I'll definitely, because there's probably some stuff I forgot to mention. Like, there are a couple of, like, video games and stuff I could talk about, but
yeah.
I know you're more into video games, so
Yeah.
You can say that for the next episode, but since you have to go,
Yeah, exactly. It's all
say
good
that for the
though.
next episode. But yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you want to check out, if you want to just look up, highly recommend you look up any of the Lost stuff if you're really interested. I think it's a great thing. Like, even if, like I said, if you're not like a silent film old like film person, like unlike me, like it's still such a great, interesting like stuff to like look up and read about and stuff. It's very interesting. So I highly recommend that.
Yeah.
You check out the Wicked Witch episode on YouTube if you want. You don't have to, but if you want to watch Sesame Street with the Wicked Witch of the West, go do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
So later.
Goodbye.